Welcome back to Films Recapped. In today's video, we are going to recap the 2016 American psychological horror film, Split. It's a movie about three girls being kidnapped by someone with multiple personalities. Warning, spoilers ahead, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to watch more videos like this. Without further ado, let's get started. The movie starts with Claire's birthday party, where our main protagonist, Casey, is attending. Casey was invited out of pity, because Claire told her dad that she gets in trouble a lot at school. The party ends, Casey wants to call for a ride home, but unfortunately she is told that the car is broken. Claire's dad insists to drive Casey home when she says she's going to take the bus. So Claire, Casey, and another friend of Claire, Marcia, gets in the car. Meanwhile, at the car's trunk, Claire's dad is approached by someone. A few moments later, we see the person, Kevin, getting into the car. The girls think that Kevin just got into the wrong car, but he puts on a mask and sprays the girls with something that makes them unconscious. Casey tries to open the door but fails and passes out too. The girls wake up in a windowless room where Kevin has taken them. He takes Marcia outside, and she comes back moments later after peeing herself, saying that he wants her to dance for him. Claire thinks they should fight back, but Casey calmly says that they need to find out why he's taken them before they decide on what to do. The next scene shows a flashback of a 5-year-old Casey having a meal with her father and uncle, John. They are talking about hunting as they're both hunters, trying to teach Casey how to hunt. We then move on to a therapist, Dr. Karen Fletcher, who is watching the news where Claire's dad explained that he woke up to find his car and the girls gone. Karen gets an email from Barry who says they urgently need to speak. Apparently, Kevin has multiple personalities and Barry is one of them. Barry is the personality who is a sketch artist, and he's Karen's regular patient in this persona. We see Karen speaking at a conference via Skype where she discusses her observations on her patients who mostly are suffering from dissociative identity disorder, or DID. She talks about how she can sense which personality is currently in control of the body because each personality have characteristics and capabilities that the other personalities do not possess, as well as saying that it has been known that the personalities can change their body chemistry just with their mind. Back to the girls, they are still trying to find a way out. When they look through a crack in the door, they see a silhouette of a woman who appears to be talking to someone. Claire and Marcia call out for help, but when she approaches, they find out that it is only another one of Kevin's persona, Patricia, who is a polite British lady. Patricia tells the girls that their captor knows why they are there and is not allowed to touch them. They then meet another persona, Hedwig, who is a 9-year-old boy. He tells the girls that he's in trouble because Patricia and their captor, Dennis, are mad at him. Casey sees a chance to escape, so she tells Hedwig that he is indeed in trouble because Patricia and Dennis are still mad at him. While Hedwig goes out, they start looking for a way out and Claire starts breaking off the plaster on the ceiling to a hollow spot. Hedwig wants to come back in but Casey and Marcia holds the door while Claire climbs out the vent. Dennis takes control of the body as Claire starts crawling in the vents, finding a way out and running for help. She then hides in a locker, but Dennis finds her by hearing her loud breaths. He tells Claire to take off her shirt because it's dirty, and locks her in a different room alone. The next scene is another session with Karen, with Kevin returning as the persona Barry. However, Karen doesn't think that she's talking to Barry because he's showing characteristics that are usually present in other personas. Karen mentions that Kevin has 23 identities, but she thinks there's a 24th one called the Beast. Kevin switches to Dennis as she mentions that, and says that the Beast is real. Getting suspicious with Dennis, Karen, and Jai, her assistant, watch the security footage outside of the building. There are trash bins laying knocked over, garbage spilled around it. A couple walks around the trash, but we see Dennis walking right through it. Karen thinks this is an intentional move. We come back to the girls. Patricia is letting Casey and Marcia go out for a meal. She tells Marcia to remove her skirt and Casey to take off her shirt. They enter the dining room and Patricia starts making a sandwich but she gets upset after cutting it crookedly, so she makes another one. Marcia sees this as an opening to strike Patricia's back with a chair and running out for help. Casey also tries to run but Patricia catches her and orders her to go back to her room. Unfortunately, Marcia is also caught eventually and is locked away alone in a different room. Hedwig comes into Casey's room, wanting to play and talk with her. He asks to kiss her and she says yes even though she doesn't really want to. Hedwig then talks about his music collection and dancing to Kanye West songs, so Casey asks to come to his room to see his music collection. He agrees to bring her there, and she notices a window in the room. Hedwig shows her that it's just a drawing of a closed window and another drawing of it being open under the first one, when he realizes that Casey is trying to escape. Casey panics and tries to calm Hedwig down. He pulls a walkie-talkie and she takes it to call for help while fighting off Hedwig. She eventually loses and Hedwig takes the walkie-talkie back. The next scene is another flashback. Little Casey is on a hunting trip but we don't see her dad around. Uncle John wants to play with her, so he strips down to his underwear and tells Casey to strip too because he says animals don't wear clothes. Later on, John shows up from behind a rock and sees Casey pointing a rifle at him, before taking the rifle back from her so that she doesn't shoot. Karen visits Kevin's house and is greeted by Dennis, inviting her inside as they continue to discuss about the beast. They also talk about what is called the Horde, a nickname for the few major personas that can control Kevin's body for a longer period of time, such as Dennis, Barry, Hedwig, and Patricia. Hearing Dennis talk, Karen becomes more and more anxious and scared. She goes outside to find Claire trapped in her room, but before she can help, Dennis pulls Karen away. Then Dennis goes to an abandoned train car and starts transforming into the beast, who is much taller and stronger and more monstrous looking than the other personas. He returns home to find Karen writing on a piece of paper. As the beast crawls on the wall and grabs her, Karen takes a small knife and tries to stab him, but instead of hurting him, the knife breaks. He then holds and squeezes Karen until her spine breaks and she dies. Meanwhile, Casey manages to get out and goes to find the other girls. She finds Marcia, but unfortunately she's dead, her stomach already ripped open. Then she finds Claire alive, but Claire was taken away and attacked by the beast. While trying to escape, Casey finds the paper Karen was writing on, with the words written say his name, Kevin Wendell Crumb. The beast finds her but reverts back to Kevin when Casey shouts his full name repeatedly. A brief flashback shows Kevin's mother yelling at little Kevin by calling his full name and saying that he made a mess. Kevin has no memory of what he did, so Casey tells him that he killed Claire, Marcia, and Karen. He's distraught, and tells Casey that she must kill him using the gun in the cabinet. Then the Horde starts to come back all at once, and the beast starts to appear again as Casey runs away. She finds the gun and some shells and loads them up. The beast crawls on the ceiling and breaks the lights, hindering Casey's sight to get a shot at him. The beast then attacks Casey, but she gets away, with her clothes ripped and leg bitten. She manages to lock herself in a cage while she loads the gun again. The beast catches up and starts bending the metal bars to get in the cage, but he notices the scars on Casey's body. Another brief flashback shows little Casey at her father's funeral, and Uncle John telling her that he will be her new guardian, implying that she has been abused all this time. The beast says that Casey is pure-hearted, and leaves her alone. Afterwards, someone goes downstairs and finds Casey, carrying her outside of the building. She sees a lot of animal in cages as she is carried out. The medics take Casey in for treatment. Next we see Kevin alone, with the Horde completely in control of his body now. Patricia says that the beast will protect them from now on. The last scene of the movie shows a diner where people are watching the news reporting on what Kevin has done. The anchorwoman says that the beast displays animalistic characteristics similar to the animals in the enclosures where Kevin works. Someone mentions that this case is similar to one 15 years ago where a man in a wheelchair did a terrorism act, but the person can't remember his name. The person next to him say Mr. Glass. The person is David Dunn from the movie Unbreakable. That's all guys for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and don't want to miss the next movie spoilers.